Train in confectionaries, will buy the confectionery equipment and get you set up.
The project will be carried out in the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. So far, a draft policy document on albinism has been developed by the Ministry of Education and will be presented to the Federal Executive Council in due course. In Abuja, Franca Uzoma Olwa, NTA News.
Benin is where we go next, and Ogochukwu is seated to bring us stories on the inspection of agro projects and the disbursement of funds by Food Committee in Delta State. Ogochukwu, is over to you.
Thanks, Shegun. Welcome to Benin. The Delta State Committee on Management of Federal Government Fund and Post-Rehabilitation of Victims has commenced the disbursement of the 500 million naira Federal Government Special Fund for flood victims in Delta State. In the first phase, 18 million naira has been given to the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Delta State chapter for the churches affected by the flood. Austin Edomodo has the details.
This was the situation in most communities in Delta State during last year's flood disaster, of which many houses of worship were adversely affected. It is now a cheering news for the Christian Association of Nigeria Delta State chapter, being the first set of victims to receive financial compensation over the flood disaster. The Justice Tabai Committee says over 2 million people in 14 local government areas were adversely affected. Therefore, the correct statistics of victims and sharing formula has been a major challenge to the committee. He, however, said the funds being disbursed at present is based on the magnitude of the disaster in the affected communities.
As we are here, whatever we are giving to you, you feel it will get to the people for whom this money is spent.
The chairman of the South Zone of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Bishop Goduwela Wamakba, with a host of other beneficiaries, we are full of appreciation to the government.
18 million is a token compared to how many churches that has a problem. He has imposed so much confidence in the church. We must not disappoint God and disappoint them.
The Justice Francis Tabai Committee was inaugurated in October 2012 to manage and disburse the 500 million naira federal government intervention fund for flood victims in Delta State. In Warri, I'm Austin Edemodu, NTA News.
In its bid to realize 50% of internally generated revenue from agriculture, Ekiti State government has embarked on various agro projects. Inspecting the farms, Governor Kayode Fayemi said it was time the hidden treasures of agriculture in Ekiti were exposed. Kunle Kai Adeyeye completes the report.
On fish ponds in a local government area, youths integrated into the Youth Commercial Agriculture Development Program now sell fish in large quantities. They appreciated the state government for gainfully engaging them. At the state nursery in Igede-Ekiti, the governor saw 20,000 quick maturing and high-yielding cocoa seedlings to be transferred to plantations. The Ministry of Agriculture said plans are being implemented to make Ekiti a world leader in cocoa production.
We want these young men and women to become employers of labor. And the only way they can do that is to ensure that we provide them with input.
The 341 hectares cassava farm and the 10 hectares maize farm at Yemerekiti, as well as the feed mill in Ado-Ekiti, were also inspected by the governor. Meanwhile, work has reached advanced stage at the proposed College of Commercial Agriculture at Ishon-Ekiti, scheduled to commence activities in September. The governor explained that the government is taking solace in agriculture because of its potential to generate 50% of internally generated revenue and 20,000 jobs by 2014. In Ado-Ekiti, Kunle Adeyeye, NTA News.
Ondo State government has signed a memorandum of understanding with the state of Maryland, USA, to establish links between local government areas and empower all sectors to participate in the global arena. Governor Olusegun Mimiko of Ondo State and his Maryland counterpart, Martin O'Malley, said the idea will strengthen relationship between the two states and bring about economic advancement. Doris Olumoko reports.
The Sister States Memorandum of Understanding between the two states seeks to leverage on global cooperation to ensure national interdependence and offer opportunities for social and economic vitality. Ondo State Governor Dr. Olusegun Mimiko said Diplomacy relationships are necessary for development, hence, Ondo State is ready to expose the state of Maryland to its vast human, natural, and mineral resources for cooperation.
We promote cooperation and partnership not only between the state of Maryland and Ondo State, and also between the good people of the great nation Nigeria and the United States of
Governor Martin O'Malley of the state of Maryland described Ondo State Governor as one of the progressive and forward-looking governors in Nigeria and expressed readiness to work with Ondo State in terms of food security, energy development, among others. He said there are 23,000 Nigerians living in Maryland, many of whom are from Ondo State, who will deepen the relationship being consummated.
things that he's been able to accomplish by bringing people together, whether it's around health or the skills of his people or security and safety, is really an inspiration. So, Mr. Governor, we are very, very grateful to you and
more than 10 provinces, states, and countries across the continent of Africa, Asia, Europe, and America are involved in the sister state relationship of the state of Maryland. In Akure, Doris Olumoko, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Benin. It's back to you, Shegun, for the continuation of Nationwide News.
Thank you, Ogochukwu. Concerned with the high level of carnage on Nigerian roads, the Federal Road Safety Commission, FRSC, has relaunched the campaign against the use of cell phones while driving. The co-marshal FRSC Osita Chidoka called for a change of attitude by motorists. Ruben Okala reports.
The use of cell phones while driving remains an offense because of the danger it poses to the motorists and other road users. Observed statistical trend indicates that due to enlightenment, the number of accidents are decreasing while distracted driving related accidents are on the increase. The Federal Road Safety Commission says this time offenders are now booked electronically.
If you think about the fine, people have been paying us fine and have been repeating the same offense. So the fine is 2,000, 3,000, they don't care, they will pay it and move on. But when they know that the records follows them, that people can search and see what type of driver is this man, I believe a lot of people of the drivers will become more careful what they do on the road.
I want to appeal to Nigerians to make sure that when they drive safely. They do not use their telephone.
History is being made today that people should stop testing while driving.
The campaign is starting with Lagos and Rivers State and the Federal Capital Territory. In Abuja, Ruben Okala, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Federal Minister of Transport, Senator Idris Umar, says government will continue to ensure that adequate road infrastructure is put in place for the nation to meet up with the United Nations Millennium Development Goals of achieving safety on roads. The minister stated this in Abuja while declaring open the 3-day National Conference of Directors and Chief Road Traffic Officers of the Federation. Timothy Yusuf reports.
Was last witnessed in 2005. This meeting is aimed at fostering a sustainable development of the profession and improve on safety of lives on the roads. The Minister of Transport, represented by the Director of Transport in the ministry, Abubakar Suleiman, enjoined the officers to embark on local action towards establishment of effective motor vehicle administration procedure, especially in the areas of vehicle inspection and driver license issuance in various states.
The ministry reasons that all the agencies should form a seamless synergy within the limits of their enabling legislation to professionally provide standard road traffic services to Nigerians.
The Director of FCT, Directorate of Road Traffic Services, William Alade, noted that motor vehicle inspection across the world has moved from the era of manual to automated and that Nigeria cannot afford to be left behind.
Essence of it is to avoid errors that manual method of checking brings to play, and of course to eliminate maybe corruption as much as possible.
This conference is working hard enough to see that all states will pick up from wherever they were in terms of road traffic management.
The conference will come up with a communique And this communique will be like a working document, a guiding rule for officers at their different states, so that the issue of road traffic management across the state.
The theme of this year's conference is contemporary issues and challenges of road traffic services in Nigeria. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News 24.
There are calls to address factors such as poor remunerations, infrastructural decay, and negligence of welfare that could destabilize the workforce. This was part of submission by discussants on NTA Tuesday Live, who urged civil servants to build an efficient system. Talatu Ezerike reports.
The Nigerian civil service, since its inception, has witnessed different reforms geared towards building a vibrant workforce. However, challenges confronting the system include corruption, poor remunerations, disparity in salaries of institutions, and lack of welfare that will hamper development.
In the 70s and 80s, when you are getting a job, you are sure of getting accommodation. You are sure of getting a shelter. Your transport, fare, everything is stated in a document, in the letter. But that is not what obtains now. I think that is aspect government need to look into it seriously.
And despite the fact that the housing is a challenge, the present regime is doing something. We cannot start building houses and allocating this to civil servants. But what we are doing is we're empowering civil servants more and more to own their houses. We're working with developers who can build these houses on some kind of agreed loan arrangement with the civil servants.
Nigeria in Bahrain won the prize, Galaxy Backbone, won the prize of Public Service Award for the whole world, Nigeria, for e-governance, Nigeria. And this is the first country that has won that in the whole world for openness in terms of access to information in government business. Salaries of civil servants are now you can get all the information because it's by IPC, it's electronic. All payments are electronic.
Discussants say government interest is to tackle headlong challenges of the workforce in building a virile nation. In Abuja, Talat Ezerike, NTA News.
This is NTA News Nationwide. Next, there will be more reports after the break. Don't go away.
The class of 2012-2013 graduation ceremony is here.
Join us for our graduation and prize giving day ceremony
at the prestigious International Conference Center, Abuja, on 29th of June 2013. Time is 9 a.m. prompt. Invited guests, Father of the Day, Chief Tuni Anene, Chairman, PDP Board of Trustees, His Excellency Tanko Amakura, Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, Senator Ayin Pius Ayin, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Dele Mamudu, Publisher, Ovation Magazine, Damola Aderemi, Barrister in the United Kingdom, Guest Speaker, Dr. T.A. Ogunlaye. All are cordially invited. Be there!
Pace Setters Schools, setting the pace.
Nigerian Diaspora Direct announces its first investment summit in London on 28th and 29th June 2013 by creating a bridge between the Central Association of Nigerians in the UK and the Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria. The NDDIS will help match investors with small and medium businesses across Nigeria. NDDIS presents viable enterprises to sources of funding and invites entrepreneurs, chambers of commerce, corporate organizations and state governments to join this deal-making event. Both the Ministry of Trade and Investment and the Nigerian High Commission to the UK commend this initiative. To join the Sweden and sponsoring state delegations, submit your one-page business summary for screening by Africa-friendly business investors. Submissions will be screened on a best value basis. Register online at nddis.com or call NTA Enterprises, Smedan or NDDIS for more information.
NTA presents to the world a dedicated television channel to broadcast activities of Nigeria's Senate, Federal House of Representatives, and all the 36 state houses of assembly.
The House Committee on Foreign Affairs to intervene.
You can watch NTA Parliamentary Channel on NTA StarTimes DTT platform. NTA Parliamentary Channel. Join us.
Jama'a ta da sallama barkamu da haka.
Ga labaranmu na duniya.
Ọha ndị ọma ndị amaala Nigeria.
Igbo ndị ọma na-ege ntị.
Onye isi ala anyị bụ Goodluck Jonathan.
Ìròyìn ló ń dé sí etí gbọ̀nyín láti iléeṣẹ́ NTA ìkànnì Oòduà.
Ẹ kú dédé wòyí o. Èyí ni ìròyìn láti iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán ìkànnì Oòduà.
NTA Language News, showing on NTA StarTimes platform, 10 p.m. Monday to Friday, 10:30 p.m. Wednesday.
Illegal aliens in Ibadan and House Committee on Works on an inspection tour of the city. Kemi is an Ibadan Network Center. Kemi, how do you do?
Thank you. Good afternoon and welcome to Ibadan. About 500 illegal immigrants have been arrested by the Nigeria Immigration Service, Oyo State Command. About 150 of the illegal immigrants have been deported. Correspondent Adebola Gulano reports. Immigrants reported are Nigerians, Chadians, Togolese, Beninois, and Ghanaians. They allegedly do not have required documents to be in the country. Comptroller Nigerian Immigration Service, Oyo State Command, Temilola Eson, said the exercise is to strengthen the monitoring and surveillance activities of the command. He said the exercise will be routine to ensure that there are no illegal immigrants in the country, especially in Oyo State.
We'll be screening them, getting their records to know those who are subject to repatriation and those who are Nigerians among them. If you enter through any clandestine way, that means you don't have a very good and noble intention. They say you should go to equity, but do what? Go with clean hands.
Some of the alleged illegal immigrants react.
And me, I didn't know na bag at the right. Then come carry me, put inside motor. I didn't know anything.
And I have my own documents before I cross the border.
From the 500 illegal aliens so far arrested by the Nigerian Immigration Service or Oyo State Command, 150 whose nationality have been determined, the controller said will be deported immediately. In Ibadan, Adebola Ogunlano, NTA News. The House of Representatives Committee on Works has expressed dissatisfaction with the quality of work on the rehabilitation of Ogbomosho-Oko, Ilobu, Oshogbo Road in southwest Nigeria. The chairman of the committee, Honorable Ogbuefi Ozungbachi, during an inspection tour on the road in Ogbomosho, Oyo State, warned the contractor handling the road project to improve on the quality of work done or face the wrath of law. Correspondent Dayo Ogweshola has the rest of the story.
As part of its oversight function, the House Committee on Works inspected the rehabilitation of Ogbomosho Oko Ilobu Road, awarded to a construction company in December 2009 with 3.4 billion naira over a period of 18 months. Presenting a report to the committee, a Ministry of Works official in charge of the road, Lawal Isaac, disclosed that the rehabilitation has reached 74.4% completion stage, with 2.8 billion naira certified by the contractor. After the examination of the quality of the job done, the committee chairman joined Honorable Shegun Odebumi, a member representing the area, to express worry over the slow pace of the work, warning the contractor against any breach of terms of agreement.
Contractor handling this project should sit up and ensure that it carries the execution of this project according to specification, contained in the contract agreement. The committee would not condone any breach of any aspect of this contract.
Percentage of the work cannot be justified with the amount the federal government has paid to the contractor.
The committee inspected the road from Ogbomosho towards the Osun State boundary. In Ogbomosho, Dayo Ogweshola, NTA News.
Osun State government has appealed for federal government intervention in the reconstruction and rehabilitation of federal roads in the state. Governor Rauf Aregbesola made the appeal to members of the House of Representatives who are currently on a tour to assess federal roads in some states in the southwest. Correspondent Tokpe Alabi reports.
Aregbesola, who decried the poor state of federal roads, mentioned specifically the roads linking Osun and Ekiti on the Ilesha and Ila-Orangun axis, Osogbo-Ilobu Road on Ogbomoso axis, and Osogbo-Iwo Road on Ibadan axis, among several other federal roads that are in deplorable condition. The governor said the oversight function of lawmakers is important in putting government on toes and appealed to the House Committee on Works to ensure adequate and effective implementation of budget, particularly on roads and other infrastructural development.
Whatever performance we are witnessing today is a reflection of your bold and courageous move to enforce the implementation of capital budget.
Earlier, Chairman House Committee on Works and Transport, Honorable Ogbuefi Ozongbachi, observed the need for states to obtain approval before embarking on construction of federal roads so as to facilitate easy and quick reimbursement.
We have to ensure every road we visit, every road project we visit in this country, we have to determine pavement thickness of pavement evaluation.
The committee had paid similar visits to Lagos, Ogun, and Oyo states as part of its oversight function. In Osogbo, Tokpe Alabi, NTA News.
The leadership of the National Assembly has expressed commitment to make life more meaningful for the less privileged in society through appropriate legislation. Speaker, House of Representatives Aminu Tambuwal, said this in Ibadan at the presentation of vocational tools to some artisans in Oluyole local government area of Oyo State. Correspondent Abdurrauf Kamaluddin reports.
Speaker, House of Representatives Aminu Tambuwal, while commending the present administration for its effort at making life better for the people, said the main focus of the National Assembly is to make law that will serve as relief for the underprivileged. The Speaker, who was represented at the occasion, urged members of the public to support the success of the present parliament in the country.
The Speaker has asked me to let you know that when a member remembers his people who have sent him, we must appreciate him.
The donor, Dr. Ibrahim Olaifa, representing Oluyole Federal Constituency, said the gesture is to strengthen the economic status of the people.
We know what they are going through, and that is why most representatives have designed this kind of program to have direct impact.
Over 300 people benefited from the gesture. In Ibadan, Abdurrauf Kamaluddin, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Ibadan. It's back to you, Shegu, for the rest of the news.
Thank you, Kemi. More than 6,000 Nigerians are benefiting from free eye treatment in Niger State. The free eye treatment, which is aimed at reaching out to individuals infected with various eye diseases, especially the less privileged, is an instance of the Niger State government and a telecommunication service provider. Mary Nobaje reports.
90% cases of blindness is said to be caused by cataract, which can be avoided if detected and treated early. Eye patients from nooks and crannies of Niger State have been trooping into IBB Specialist Hospital, Minna, for free drugs, eyeglasses, and surgical operation. The eye restoration scheme, which will last till the 6th of next month, has brought joy to the heart of many residents of the state.
If you don't have sight, you're already dead.
I'm very happy I see this opportunity to operate our eyes.
It's a good experience that I've had here, and it has reached the less privileged.
Governor Ma'azu Babangida Aliyu, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Saidu Ndako Idris, said the collaboration demonstrates government's commitment to eradicate blindness from the state, explaining that government has also set up a committee on the prevention of blindness to produce a detailed program on how to drive the state eye project. Commissioner for Health and Hospital Services, Dr. Ibrahim Babamini Sule, said the free eye treatment will further help reduce the prevalent rate of sudden